I wouldn't start with that. I would always encourage everyone start with yourself because one, it's a great growth activity for you to do for yourself because there's a lot of fears around doing that. I think it's really empowering to do. But also it's like most people, like when they're running content, like we've had very, very few people like fail with it. And so.
Okay. Now separately, Facebook ads versus Google ads. I built my concierge. So concierge pain relief is the practice. I built my concierge practice, mobile practice here in New York City, strictly from Google ads because I'm in South Brooklyn and like no one knows me in Manhattan except for Google ads, right? Like I didn't go, I never initially, like years ago, I didn't talk to personal trainers. I didn't talk to physicians. I had zero referral partners in Manhattan, one of the most busy or saturated places in the United States, where there's a ton of zip codes with high income earners and a bunch of people that want something to come to them. People in Manhattan, they want IV drip. They want a nurse to come to them. They want a personal trainer, massage therapist to come to them, physical therapist. So it's kind of, I don't want to say it's like shooting fish in a barrel. I'm not saying it's easy, but Google ads grew my practice to what it is today. If it weren't for that, I don't even know if I would have a practice. We've tried Facebook ads with a couple different agencies over the years. It just has not worked out. And I think I'm biased because Facebook ads, it's like the person scrolling, they're looking for cat videos, they're looking for their cousin's pictures, like they're in another world and they're scrolling. And then there's, Ben Boggy, ProKinetics or Concierge Pain Relief or whatever jumps in front of them, distraction marketing. They're not even thinking about addressing this issue. So I just don't think Facebook ads work, but I'm biased. Tell me, what are your thoughts right now? What are you seeing working with Facebook ads versus Google ads? And the context is Google ads are maybe 3% of people right now that they're ready to take action. They're ready to find a solution. They're solution aware. Maybe they're, service aware or whatever. They're ready to take action. That's my bread and butter. But I know there's like a ton of other people that require what you said before, a lot of nurturing. That's where the content comes in, the Facebook ads with, email and text follow up and all that, workshops, whatever it might be. But in 2024 now, moving into 2025, Facebook ads versus Google ads, what do you got?
So you might be surprised about my answer. One is not better than the other. My original expertise is in Google ads, and I love Google ads. The thing that people need to ask themselves is who it is that they're trying to attract, where they're hanging out online, and what stage of buyer awareness they're actually at. And so I'm not surprised that Google ads worked incredibly well for you, given where you're at in New York and the style of practice that you actually have. Because Google ads, when we're running those, let's compare that to a traditional setting. So let's say in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin, where I live, I have a brick and mortar practice and I'm focusing purely on running Google ads. When we're doing that, although it can be profitable, very rarely can we get it above like a 2x return on ad spend. But basically, the people who are seeing those ads are searching for physical therapy, which means they have a preconceived notion into what physical therapy is and what they're looking for, and likely they were referred to it. And so in most cases, these people have been referred to see a physical therapist and they expect to be able to use their insurance. And so having been referred to physical therapy through the idea of using your insurance, that's a really hard mindset to shift in a simple conversation with people. And so that's why Google ads are difficult for most brick and mortar practices and mobile practices that are in smaller cities to be able to work, because people are coming in with that preconceived notion of what it is they're looking for, and they're coming off of a referral. So they're more pig-headed in their determination to use it. Now, where you're at in New York, Google ads being very successful for you makes perfect sense, because you are offering a very premium tailored service for people, because they're incredibly busy and they want someone to come to them. It makes sense for this to be a cash pay service, because you are saving them tremendous amounts of time that they would never expect that their insurance would come to them and cover. And so for you, it makes perfect sense, because you have so many people in a condensed area who do have income, who enjoy spending income. And I'd imagine it's even a little bit of a status thing for a lot of the people who are doing it, where they're having you come to their office or you coming to their home. And it makes sense that wouldn't be covered by insurance. So if we had a mobile practice in a smaller town, I would bet, and I would bet money on it, that they wouldn't see the amount of success that you had, because there just isn't enough of those people in that area to generate the volume that they need to make it profitable. And so that's just what we've seen across the board. And we've invested tens, maybe crossed the $100,000 mark into the best Google ad experts, into just the ads themselves, to kind of crack the code on this. But it's very difficult for us to break a 2x return on ad spend, which is great. It's better than the S&P 500. It's better than most investment vehicles out there. If you can get a 2x return on what you put in. But when you compare that to Facebook ads, especially in these in the majority of cities, the volume of leads and opportunities you're able to generate, the average return that we're seeing is between 4 and 6x return at scale. It means running ads for over 12 months. It's just a significantly higher return that makes more sense to allocate that Google Ads budget back into Facebook ads, because it's just going to equate to more. So that's kind of the breakdown. One's not better than the other. You just have to consider the offer that you have and the buyer market that you're in, and how many opportunities there actually are.
Got it. And I know, I'm in New York City. It's a different world. I understand that. And Google ads are not going to work for a mobile practice, potentially in some, rural place where there's a low number of population. I get it.
Right. It all depends on search volume.
Right. So but part of me, for my situation in New York City, part of me wants to push back. Just the rural places, I agree. Two different conversations for a city. So Chicago, Miami, New York, Boston, San Francisco, Seattle, maybe, I don't know, some of the bigger cities. It feels like, or it could, I'm making an assumption.
Yeah.
It seems like it would take longer to get the first, $2,000 from these patients that are investing in their health and wellness. We're not selling them snake oil or anything like that. But it seems like it would, in the cities, for a brick and mortar or for a mobile cash practice, it seems like it would take longer from, cold, they don't know you at all, to getting the first $2,000, $5,000, whatever dollars that they're investing in themselves via your practice, compared to Google ads. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
No, and that's a really good point. But when we're looking at the bigger cities, and like I said, Google ads absolutely can work. I'm not saying people shouldn't do it, but what we found that in these big cities, Facebook ads were able to reach so many more people, and we're able to have far more consistency, because we're not relying on search volume to drive sales for us. We're in full control of of how many people we have coming in on a monthly basis. And so when we're in a big city, because we're running ads to people who aren't solution aware yet, we're marketing to people who are only problem aware, and we're able to reach way more people as a result of that. The volume that we're able to bring in just equates to far more revenue, and the speed in which we're able to do it might surprise you. A lot of agencies say they need 60 to 90 days to figure out what's going to work, yada, yada, yada. That's BS. They just don't know the population. And so when we turn on ads for folks, and they don't need to record all the videos first, we start them off with just general offer ads, and we're able to get those profitable within 30 days. Once those ads are profitable, we then optimize them with content, because content is going to have a lot more variables on: was it a good ad? Are you good on camera? Do you have what we call click-through face or not? And
wait, hold on. Click-through face?
Click-through face. Yeah. Some people don't have it.
Okay. So they got to be smiling or charismatic or have a tan or look fit. What are some of the characteristics?
Well, generally speaking, for example, females in ads and in content, their views are on 4 to 6x higher than just a guy. And so social media, it's all about it's looking at a lot of different things, like the energy that you give off, the clarity in your message, what the audio sounds like. There's so many more variables that could prevent that from going wrong. And so that is an optimization that we add next. And so we start off with offers, but then we optimize and improve the profitability by adding in content in front of that to scale it further. And so we're able to get people ROI positive very quickly because we already know the offers that work, the populations that are the lowest hanging fruit. And once we have the objection prehab system in place, getting that person on the phone and getting them scheduled is very quick.
Got it. Well,
that makes sense.
It makes a ton of sense. For our Google ads, like we had these set up like some amount of 4 or 5 something years ago. And like, I'll turn them all down to like $1 a day budget. Like if we're good, or like a hire new therapist. And it's like, let's ramp this up. Like earlier this year, I was spending like 7-8 grand a month on Google ads. Now with Facebook ads, you mentioned about the male female difference. Like female on a Facebook ad has a higher click-through rate. I'm just spitballing in real time with you right now.
Yeah.
I'm in New York City. There's a lot of actresses out there that need some work. I have money. Would it ever make sense for me to hire female actresses to do some of these videos, to give them some script? Maybe I do them with them. I don't know. But like, what would be the pros and cons of that? I mean, the patient sees that on the front end. We're looking for higher clicks. You're saying it's a 4x improvement or a higher lift on click-through rate on the ads. Anyone ever do that? Any of your practices?
The answer is yes. I just had this is actually like a business model that is starting to explode. That's pioneered by a woman named Emily Conan, I believe is her name. You've probably even seen some of her ads that she's done for like chiropractic marketing agencies. But she's called the VSL Queen, and she has an entire team of female actors that'll basically record your ad creatives and your VSLs for you because of what the data is suggesting. Now, I didn't invest in them because if I'm going to spend money in building my brand, I want the face that people recognize to be me and Ben's. And so I chose not to do that. But it's very, very, very likely that I'm going to invest in that in the next 4 to 6 months as a way to test and scale our ads further. And so I wouldn't start with that. I would always encourage everyone to start with yourself because one, it's a great growth activity for you to do for yourself because there's a lot of fears around doing that. I think it's really empowering to do. But also it's like most people, like when they're running content, like we've had very, very few people like fail with it. And so maybe shouldn't have even brought up like click-through phase because I don't want it to discourage people because your first videos are going to suck. And if you saw my first videos, you would laugh. I played them at my recent live event and it was a riot. People were dying. And
but a great example of like minimizing your excuses, just like start, it's good, iterate, it's going to improve over time, but you have to start somewhere.
Right. So Google ads, yes, they can be very, very quick, but Facebook ads, they're also very, very fast. And I like it because it feels like I have more leverage over it, but don't think that you have to create content or you have to post every day or record content every single week to run Facebook ads. We just started putting awareness content at the forefront of our funnels within the last 4 to 6 months. Before that, for the last several years, we just ran direct offers to cold audiences, and we've had people consistently get 4 to 6x return on those ads. So it's something that can happen very quickly with not a lot of effort, but that doesn't mean it's not better than Google. I've just seen in my experience after working with hundreds of practices, it is a much more reliable way to get people in the door quickly because you're not at the mercy of the level of buyer awareness within your community.
And big difference with Facebook ads versus Google ads is on Google, yes, they have high intent, but they're looking at text, right? And then they're going to click into a landing page, the website, whatever you're dropping them on, versus Facebook and Instagram, where you can have some of this different approach. Like, again, it's still distraction marketing. I see that's just me saying, I know you don't really want this, but I'm putting it in front of you, but again, the visual component, you can get really creative. Like you said, case study, you and your therapist, you could have your therapist with a patient if they consented to that on video. You could have I did some with Chad Coons months ago, and I was in New York City. I was just like doing selfie videos, walking like with just like AirPods, like not great mic. Like I just did it, just got started. And I was outside, one day it was like there was snow on the ground and I was like, hey, I'm at this intersection. And the ones that looked so raw and I was literally walking down the sidewalk, those are the ones that performed the best. And then the ones where I did videos like this and I was like, like trying to look all professional, make sure I shade, all that type of, those performed worse. Like it's hilarious.
How long did you run those ads?
Probably not long enough. I mean, I feel like it was months.
Okay. I'm just curious, like, were they profitable or no?
No.
Yeah.
No. And maybe the targeting was off. I don't know. Maybe we have to talk about it offline, but like, we were running, I did like an hour-long digital workshop, right? Because like you help practice owners with workshops, but if they have a brick and mortar, it's easier because it's like in person and they're going to a place.
Right.
With mobile practices, it's like we don't have a clinic, right? So like we were doing a digital workshop on back pain and sciatica, and it was like an hour long, and then we chopped it like, 45 minutes and 30, then like 20, and then it was like 15 minutes. And like, yes, it improved, like watch time improved.
Yeah.
And actually, as a sidebar here, these McKenzie rolls.
Oh yeah, of course.
I had an offer in this, and it was, if you fill out my one page, you have to print it out. You fill out the one page, fill in the blank. So it's like, it shows that people are like listening, right? So they're filling out like how, 5 vertebrae in the lumbar spine, or, whatever, 3 sections of the spine, cervical, thoracic, and lumbar. It was like fill in the blank, very simple stuff. You had to take a picture of you filling in everything when you were done, and I would mail you a lumbar roll. So I mailed out 2 or 3 of these lumbar rolls that cost $20 or $30. Even those people didn't convert. So I'm telling you, like, I don't know, maybe I need a different approach, but like, I'm just super jaded with Facebook ads. I know Google ads have worked, but
you should let someone who's been doing it for almost 10 years give it a whack and see if we can turn it around for you. But one thing that I will say, huge difference between Google ads and Facebook ads is the experience that you need to provide after the lead is acquired. Google ads, very high intent. You don't need to work as hard to sell them on your value. But when you run Facebook ads, a lot of people who have been very successful with Google ads or have been very successful with word of mouth and referrals, they struggle with Facebook ads because they expect the same sales systems to convert them. They're a completely different type of buyer at a very different stage of the buyer cycle. And so if your sales systems that you think are tremendous work really good just on referrals and word of mouth, most people don't realize it's like you've never actually sold somebody because they already showed up sold. And so when you do start to run Facebook ads, this is why you need an objection prehab funnel, because it not only is going to make the experience for people who are already bought in your referrals and the people coming in through Google ads, not only is that going to be a world-class experience that is just way better than anything else I've gone through, but it's also good enough to take a complete and total skeptical stranger and get them excited about investing cash, something that they've never considered before. And so most people, when they're struggling with Facebook ads, it could be an ad problem. It could be a marketing problem. I'm not sure what you were running, but a lot of the times there is a systems problem because one system that's meant for warmer traffic isn't going to work on that colder traffic. And so that's a lot of the problems that we help people with is how do we create better systems to better nurture, to better build relationships so that when they do so that we can convince them that we are worth 15 minutes to talk to on the phone, basically.
Love it. I want to tease out a potential future topic. I want to invite you and Ben Boggy back on. And I want to pitch to you guys that you, and especially Ben, are wrong about packages. I think no packages. You guys think packages. I think that could be another topic where we talk about pros and cons. I did other videos on YouTube before where I did like redacted, like I showed my straight credit card processor and I'm like, look at these patients that have paid 20 grand, 30 grand, 40 grand, whatever. And it was not through a package, but that's for another day. Jordan, dude, thank you so much for catching up on here. First time us talking. Let the audience know you're everywhere. You're easy to find, but like clinicalmarketer.com or LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram, like what's a good place for them to reach out to you guys if they want to potentially implement some of these systems that you help practice owners with?
I would go to YouTube, go search Clinical Marketer or Cash Physical Therapy School, and you'll find all the content we're releasing on a weekly basis of really what's working inside of our practice and our clients' practices every single day, what we're testing and experimenting with. We really hold nothing back and just teach every single thing that we know in there. So I would go check out the YouTube channel for sure.
Love it. Awesome. Jordan, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. This has been a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that package debate.
Yes, let's do it. Hey, it's Dave Kittle. Are you a healthcare business owner or physical therapy practice owner who is looking to figure out your succession plan or exit strategy? We might be able to help. And in fact, we may be interested in acquiring your practice. If you're interested, you can reach out to me. Shoot me an email at dave@conciergepainrelief.com. That's DAVE at CONCIERGE painrelief.com, or You can call me at any time, 646-781-8884.